Hi, Pastor Kip here. One of the most iconic television shows of all time is the Andy Griffith Show. Now, I don't know if you're a fan, you're watching it, whatever. When I was at Vanderbilt, the Andy Griffith Rewatchers Club was actually formed and started there on the campus, and so it was a big deal. They'd have all these parties and put on the big screen, and you'd watch Andy Griffith episodes. I still love that show. One of my favorite episodes has to do with Opie. Ron Howard, who is a famous movie producer now, was the little boy on Andy Griffith, as you probably know. Opie, when he's a little boy, he was given a slingshot one year as a special gift. And his dad told him, be careful with it. Make sure you don't, shoot out a window or something like that or someone's eye. And he took that to heart. But he was a kid. And one day he was outside practicing with his slingshot and he inadvertently pulled his slingshot back and let it go. And this rock that he had in the slingshot went into the tree and he saw this bird fall from the tree. Opie would discover that though he did not intend to, he wasn't paying close enough attention. And when he released the slingshot, the stone in the slingshot hit this mother bird. And there in the tree was a nest with 3 eggs inside. He had to learn a valuable lesson about responsibility because his father said, okay, you have killed the mother of these little birds, and now what you need to do is take care of them. And so they took the nest and the eggs and the little birds, and Opie became responsible for caring for these little birds. He fed them, he watched them grow. They were in a cage in his bedroom. But as they began to get older, they began to realize that these birds needed to fly. They needed their freedom. They were not designed to be in the cage, they were designed to be outside. One of the hardest parts for Opie was to come to terms with the fact that his responsibility and the repercussions of his decisions had an impact on these birds. And yet at the same time, he learned something valuable from tending to them, caring for them, having a maternal presence in their life. And then when they released them into the air, let them go, they filled the trees with singing and chirping and joy. It all came full circle. The whole show centers around these birds and how Opie takes care of these birds. It can seem insignificant in the beginning, but really it's not. Jesus has a lot to say in spiritual application about birds. He talks about sparrows and how small they are and how insignificant they seem. And yet he also says that if God cares for these sparrows, then God cares for us. There's a responsibility on God's part to care for us, even when we may seem insignificant or feel insignificant, like a little sparrow. The last few weeks, I've had a sermon series that I've been sharing with you entitled Hymns My Mama Taught Me. And each Sunday, we've been considering various hymns that I've shared with you. Certainly not all of them. I could only choose a few that have been very instrumental in my life. This coming Sunday, I will share the final message in this series. And the final hymn that we will focus on is a hymn about sparrows. His eye is on the sparrow, and I know he watches me. It's had a powerful, soothing, comforting, pastoral influence in my life to know that, like the little birds, so God is watching us. And even in spite of our own actions sometimes or our own inaction, God still cares. And like Opie, he cares for us, he watches over us. But then there comes a time when he has to let us go and become the people that God has intended to be. The chorus of this great hymn says, I sing because I'm happy. I sing because I'm free. His eyes on the sparrow. I know he watches me. It's a powerful way of thinking about how we relate to God and about how God relates to us. I hope you'll plan to be here this coming Sunday for this finale of this sermon series on the hymns my mama taught me. And it has been my privilege to share them with you. I also want to remind you that this Sunday at 9:45 in the fellowship hall, which is the lower level here on our facility and on our campus, Randy Pettis, who is a commission member of the General Assembly this past summer, which means that he was a voting delegate at our General Assembly, he's going to take a few moments and share with you his experience for us to have a commission member from this church go to General Assembly in Milwaukee, which is where it was hosted this past time. He has a lot to share with us, talk to us about some of the legislation, his experience of representing us there, and what all that was about. It'll give us a feeling of being a part of something much greater than ourselves. So I hope that you'll not only give thanks for Randy's faithfulness, because he went through a lot getting ready and even being there for multiple days. It wasn't just an afternoon, he was there for multiple days. And I'm looking forward to what he has to share. And then the first Sunday in August, just around the corner, we'll introduce our new sermon series on if Jesus is the answer, what are the questions? Many of you have shared your questions with me. And once again, this coming Sunday, they'll be in your bulletin, a little form for you to fill out and give me your question. And then after that, we'll be ready to go into this series. And so I need to know what your questions are. If you could ask God any question, what would it be? There's so much good things going on in the life of our community of faith right here at First Presbyterian Church in Florence. And I'm so glad to be a part of it. And I look forward to seeing you this coming Sunday. Don't forget, pick up an invite card about this new series about Jesus being the answer and what are the questions, and give them to a friend or a loved one and bring them to church with you. You know, we only grow as strong as we're willing to make an investment in the life of another people. And do you realize this? Two quick things. One, if everybody coming to church this Sunday brought just one person with them, we wouldn't be able to seat the people. And two, if every person coming to church this coming Sunday gave $50 more than what they normally give, we would be able to do all we ever wanted to do and more for building the kingdom of God together right here in Florence. So think about those things as we continue to move into the end of summer and early fall. I can't wait to see you in worship this coming Sunday. God bless you.